Okay, Jimmy, may start.
Hi, afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone, and happy New Year to everyone. Yeah. So today my topic is on Ganoderma, related to see whether how Ganoderma can help in cholesterol, high cholesterol. Yeah. So next. So the first will be as usual the disclaimer. So all the information contained in the slide are intended for general health information and for educational purpose only, and are not intended to be used as a substitute for professional medical advice, treatment, or care. Yeah. Next. So first we look at what is cholesterol. Yeah. So cholesterol is the type of lipid, so-called fat, and it is waxy substance found in our blood. So the waxy nature of the cholesterol actually helps it to mix with both water and fats. So it actually allow it to perform a number of important functions in the body, for example, build healthy. So the key fact is too high the cholesterol will actually increase the risk of getting heart disease and stroke. So a third of the ischemic heart disease is actually attributed to high cholesterol. So the ischemic heart disease is a heart problem actually caused by narrow heart arteries. So when arteries are narrow, less blood and oxygen actually reach the heart muscle. So this can lead to heart attack. So globally, around 39% of adults aged 25 and over had high cholesterol in 2008. As in Singapore, 19% of adults has high cholesterol in year 2010. Yeah. So yeah, next. Yeah. So next we look at the high cholesterol and the more in more detail. So hyperlipidemia, sometimes also called high cholesterol. So when we have excess cholesterol and triglycerides accumulate in the blood, we call this hyperlipidemia. Yeah. So in the first place, where do cholesterol come from? Yeah. So the source of cholesterol is actually come from two areas. One, our liver. Okay. The other one will be from the food we eat. So our liver actually makes 75%, and the balance 25% is come from our diet. Okay. But why our body actually produce so much of cholesterol? Mainly because our body needs this cholesterol to make cell membrane, okay, for cell signaling, and vitamin D, hormones, and fat dissolving bile acid, actually to support all our body function. So for example, in the endocrine system, hormones are produced by the gland to make estrogen, testosterone, and cortisol. So cortisol is a source of energy to counter stress. So when we're in stress, okay, we will build more, we will need more cholesterol, okay, because of building this cortisol. So in nervous system, actually, the nervous system is to actually have to protect from the protection of the nerve cell. So 20% of our cholesterol, okay, that needed, okay, and also this will actually enable brain communication. And the next is in the digestive system is to produce the bile. So this one will actually aid in the so-called to actually help us in the digestion on the food that we eat. So the next area that cholesterol come from is from the food intake. It's about 25%. So our body will actually keep on producing for our body need. So food intake will actually supplement on that. Yeah. So in terms of cholesterol, there are two types. Okay, LDL, okay, is and so-called commonly known as the bad cholesterol, and the other one is a HDL. Yeah, one LDL is a low density, okay, the other one will be high density HDL. So LDL is the one that actually needed to transport cholesterol throughout our body. So this LDL is also known as the bad cholesterol because over time it can actually, in excess, it can actually build up in the walls of our artery. So as a result, the artery become narrow internally, that can actually cause the blockage. So blood will be having hard time to actually flow through. As for HDL, is a good cholesterol because it actually pick up the excess LDL cholesterol along the arteries and take it back, okay, to our liver to be broken down and eliminated from the body. Yeah. Next we'll look at what are the signs and symptoms that this high cholesterol have. So high cholesterol doesn't cause any symptom, but we can actually listen to our body and pay close attention to the following. Okay, first one is for arteriosclerosis, which is related to the build-up of plaque on the wall of the arteries. So for example, at times you may actually feel that, okay, chest pain, okay, heart attack, okay, and stroke, and those are PAD, peripheral arterial disease. So this one, you may actually have this type of symptom, yeah, when you have very high cholesterol. At times, you may actually experience loss of memory, okay, in terms of the mental function may not be very good. So due to formation of beta amyloid plaque. So this beta amyloid plaque is in the brain cell, in the brain area, in the cell, brain cell. So when you have high cholesterol, normally they will actually trigger the aggregation of this beta amyloid to actually form, okay, and they glue together, and the formation of abnormal protein deposit in the brain. The next is a gallstone. So gallstone. So when we have excess, that will actually happen when we have excess bile that form into the crystal. But before it can be, because our cholesterol is the raw material that actually built for this bile. So you have excess cholesterol. In fact, you will actually build more bile and store into the gallbladder. So some people with gallstone may not experience any symptom because it's still very small before it actually form the big crystal. So at times, other may have symptoms like pain in the upper right side of our abdomen, and at times you may have fever. Okay, you get infection, and then worst case will be eventually you'll get a jaundice, as kind of symptom. Okay, and the causes, okay, is partly due to inactivity, obesity, and unhealthy diet. Okay, and body cell, the body cell not removing fast enough on the LDL from the blood efficiently. Okay, so which means that you will actually accumulate more and more cholesterol, this so-called LDL, bad cholesterol, in the body. Yeah, so liver also produce too much cholesterol. So at times, partly due to stress. Stress is kind of measure, and we do not know how it come from, but it just happened that then our body will auto trigger all these mechanism to create more cholesterol, because cholesterol is the main raw material to build the cortisol hormone. So when we are stressed, our body will react, yeah, by producing more cholesterol for that. Yeah. So next is the genetic condition. There's inherited condition that that cause high level of LDL, low density lipoprotein cholesterol in the body. Yeah. So this is called familial hypercholesterolemia. So this condition is that the cholesterol level can be as high as 300 or more, 300 mg per dl or higher. So the problem is that have a deficiency in LDL receptor, which is a protein that help remove LDL cholesterol from the blood. That's why LDL, okay, these bad cholesterol always remain in the blood at a high level. Yeah, so this is the deficiency for the so-called the genetic problem. Next we look at the test and diagnosis. Yeah, so for cholesterol, we can actually do a blood test called lipid profile. So to be accurate, normally before we go for this test, one day before, the night before, we need to fast for about 9 to 10 hours before we can actually carry out the blood test to be more accurate. So normally the clinic will actually inform you stop eating any food after 10 p.m. the night before the actual test. So for the reading, total cholesterol, we look at the total cholesterol. Desirable would be, ideally the desirable level is less than 200 mg per dl. But for borderline high is between 200 and 239 mg per dl. Once it's above 240 mg per dl, this will be considered as a high cholesterol. Yeah. So for LDL itself, we probably look at just now that one is a total cholesterol. Now we are looking individual into the low density lipid protein, the LDL, so-called the bad cholesterol. The optimal level is at less than 100, and desirable will be between 100 and 129. And borderline high will be 130 to 159, and high is 160 to 189. So when it comes to above 189, 190, it will be very high, considered very high. So it will be very high, so-called bad cholesterol, high cholesterol. So for LDL, for LDL, we want it to be as low as the lower the better. But for HDL, we want it to be higher. Okay, so low over here is the optimum. We want it to be more than 60 mg per dl. But when it's too low, okay, less than 40 mg per dl, this is when we have high cholesterol. Normally HDL will be a bit low. So they will actually compare these two readings. Yeah. So remember that LDL, we want a good result is that we want it to be low. HDL, we want to be high. Yeah, because HDL is a good cholesterol that you need to be high so that you can carry more of the LDL to be disposed from the body. Yeah. Another point to look at is the triglyceride. Yeah. So triglyceride, the optimum level is at less than 150. This triglyceride, we also try to, the lower the better. Yeah, but not too low. There is an optimum numbers. So optimum will be less than 150. Yeah, then the high 200 to 200, between 200 and 399, and very high means that more than 400. Yeah, so remember that LDL and triglyceride, we try to get low number. The lower the better, but not too low. They must be within the optimum value. Yeah. So next, we look at how to prevent. So there are several ways to actually help control cholesterol level and reduce the risk of heart disease and stroke. So first we look at the diet. So we are trying to look for the healthy, balanced diet, healthier fats, avoid trans fat, limit the dietary cholesterol, prefer whole grain, and take more fruits and vegetables, and also omega-3 fatty acid, heart healthy fish. Yeah. The next is try to maintain a normal body weight, BMI less than 25. So to achieve that, we have to be physically active, meaning do a regular exercise and all this to maintain this BMI, and also maintain the healthy lifestyle. So if you are a smoker, try to avoid smoking, try to reduce the smoking, and also reduce the alcohol intake. Yeah. Another thing is very important is the stress management. Yeah. So we have to manage the stress, manage the load that our body can take it. And more important, the next one will be having sufficient rest. So it's time to rest, we need to rest. It's time to sleep, we need to sleep. And the last one will be on a TCM perspective, they are looking at those eating more black color food will actually help related to kidney. Yeah, so kidney is one of the key organ on this so-called cholesterol related control. Yep, next. Next, we look at the treatment. Yeah. So just now we talk about all this lifestyle change and all this, but if lifestyle change are still not enough to control the cholesterol level, then doctor may actually have to prescribe the following medication. Yeah. There are, first we look at statin, the most common one. Okay. They actually, what they do is actually they block substances your liver. They actually block the substance on your liver to actually make cholesterol. As we know that liver produce cholesterol, so they actually stop it from the production of cholesterol. First testing actually block the enzyme that create cholesterol in the liver. And then with the reduced production, in fact, it actually lower the total amount of cholesterol available in your bloodstream. But there's a possible side effect. Okay, so that will actually you may some may actually experience muscle pain and weakness, and also increase the liver enzyme will actually indirectly there's a risk of so-called type 2 diabetes, and over the time you may actually experience memory loss. Yeah, these are the possible side effects. Another medicine called bile acid binding resin, example called Prevalite. So this is this medication is actually bind the bile acid to cholesterol. Okay, so why they bind it? Because they bind the bile acid to cholesterol. So we actually form a small particle that can actually carry this cholesterol, okay, and other fats through the intestine. Okay, so and they actually send it back into a liver, which is actually broken down and removed from the body. So this bile acid is actually bind the cholesterol, prevent them from actually reabsorbing back to the bloodstream in the intestine. So basically, they are trying to actually make the bile, okay, liver make the bile acid, then the bile acid will actually break down the food we eat in the intestine, but they don't actually, those cholesterol will not actually flow back, but this medication will actually bring them back, okay, to the liver, stop them from going to a bloodstream. Yeah, in that they actually reduce the cholesterol in the bloodstream. Yeah, so the third medication is the absorption inhibitor. So this one is the limit intestine the absorption of dietary cholesterol. Yeah, so possible side effect is abdominal discomfort and diarrhea. Yeah, so this one will have a similar effect just now we mentioned on the medication. Fibrate is a NET medication. They actually, example TriCol, they actually reduce the triglyceride by reducing the liver production of the very low density lipid protein. Okay, so this very low VLDL in fact is a triglyceride. Yeah, so they are removing from there in the liver to actually stop the liver from production. Yeah, the last one will be niacin, reduce the triglyceride by limit, also the same, by limit the liver production of LDL and VLDL. So VLDL is actually, and the LDL and the cholesterol are produced by liver, so it actually released to bloodstream. So they are blocking all this, so-called blocking the liver from producing it. So in that indirectly, they actually lower the cholesterol in your bloodstream. So possible side effect will be flushing reaction. Yeah. So yeah. So next. Okay. So next two slides is actually from two topics from the book. So there are some information they are quite interesting to share. So the first topic is on the so-called related to, both are related to medication. So this book is actually written by a doctor in Singapore, and he's a cardiologist. So in this book, there are two topics on statin. The first one, the topic is the rise and fall. The title is a rise and fall on the statin. So year in there are data in the year 1974. The statin, when it first released into the market, to the so-called to the market, and the medication is actually introduced to block the synthesis and of cholesterol in the liver. So their data found that there are large-scale clinical trials show that heart attack were actually prevented and life was saved by the statin in patients with and without heart disease. So which is a very good thing at that time. So they even because of all this goodness of so-called statin, they actually suggested that they can actually put it low dose of statin in drinking water. Okay. Next is that according to the book, that there was some data show that a decade later, after that, by 2001, okay, they, out of the so-called 700,000 user, okay, 31 have died from the rhabdomyolysis. So this is a condition in which a muscle breakdown, which actually could lead to kidney failure. So of that, another 385 patients actually survived the potentially later episode. Okay, but eventually there are 1,009 cases reported to US FDA, and more than 7% of them die. So certainly muscle ache and weakness are more common side effect of the statin. Yeah, so this is based on the so-called the data collected, and this doctor actually highlighted in the book. And next. Next topic is on gut my heart, okay, and lost my mind. So this one also related to the statin. So they say that, yeah, this statin actually helped to gut my heart and lost my mind. The whole thing is that there are several statin users actually reported their experience of forgetfulness and clouding of the mind, okay, and because of the sudden and complete loss of memory, some patients seem to have problem recognizing their close relative and familiar friends. So there were some cases when the patient forgot to refill, okay, to refill the medicine statin, and that caused them to actually stop the statin for a while. And strange, they found that after some time, they noticed their memory recover and realized that the relationship of a statin and cognitive impairment, there's some correlationship. Yeah. So, but some scientists also believe that statin might even have the potential of preventing vascular dementia. And FDA also require, since the FDA also require a warning to be placed on a warning label to be placed on that medicine, that warning of diabetes mellitus. So a more recent one, that a new drug work as PCSK9 inhibitor, the alternative of so-called statin. So they're a new drug. So this one seems to be more effective and safer than statin. Yeah. So with these two topics, what's the key takeaway? The key takeaway is that like all medication, statin can have potential side effect, but all is about risk and benefit. Yeah. So based on the data gathered and they actually presented, they're trying to find out what are the associated risks from the side effect of statin, and whether the risk would actually become another health issue that could be a life-threatening. Yeah, so basically this is about. Yeah, and next. Okay, next we look at Ganoderma, a type of mushroom that has healing property. Ganoderma, also known as lingzhi, is a very special type of mushroom that has the healing property, and it has been recognized as a medicinal mushroom for over 2,000 years, and its a powerful effect have been documented in the two oldest medical books in ancient China, Shen Nong Ben Chao Jing and Ben Chao Gang Mu. So in the last 50 years of modern scientific research in lingzhi, we can find many evidence-based reports published. So if you do a Google search that key on the keyword lingzhi or Ganoderma and diseases, we can easily get more than 1,000 result show the research paper published, and almost all the report can be found in the PubMed website. This PubMed, which is the US National Library of Medicine. Yeah. So next. So when it comes to selecting lingzhi product, it will be spoiled for choice in the market. Yeah. So why would you choose Shuangho? First, okay, Shuangho is one of the world leaders in producing top quality lingzhi, and their main core business is in researching, producing, and marketing lingzhi. And the company has been in the business for more than 30 years, specializing in producing top grade lingzhi product, and the core product is still lingzhi. Head office in Taiwan and named as Double Crane. In this Southeast Asia region, is named as Shuangho, and the company owns in their in-house R&D and also their lingzhi farm, as well as their own distribution network. So through many years of research effort, with its patented extraction process, all lingzhi products are extracted with the two unique components, tretopenoid and micromolecular polysaccharide content, okay, which is very unique. And the product has been scientifically certified with various endorsements, okay, from Taiwan TQF all the way to Halal certified, as well as ISO certification. Yeah. So next we look at this lingzhi on high cholesterol prevention. So first, it regulate immune system to actually stimulate the activity of immune cell, and also the immune cell, the macrophage engulf, and the LDL in the blood. So next is improve blood circulation. So when the so-called the LDL, when the LDL being absorbed, then your blood actually viscosity has improved, your blood circulation will improve. So that's why they say remove blood fat. Yeah. So for example, they remove the blood fat, example cholesterol and triglycerides. So this will actually help to improve the vascular elasticity. So when that happens, when blood circulation improve, blood fat being removed, your heart will pump at a lower rate and lower pump pressure. So you will have lower blood pressure. Yeah. Next. And the next is on the liver. As you can see that liver is a major organ for detoxification. So lingzhi can actually enhance the liver function. It actually regulates the production of cholesterol. So you will have it in a balanced stage. So also at the same time, if you are taking together with the medication, it actually help to reduce the side effect of Western drug, so that it can actually clear off from the body. The toxin waste can be cleared off. Yeah. So next will be benefit will be the remove free radical and antioxidation. So that will actually help to protect the wall of artery from damaging by the cholesterol, the LDL, the bad cholesterol. Yep. Yeah. Next, we look at the Ganoderma on the so-called links on hyperlipidemia prevention and complementary treatment. So here we have the international research using Ganoderma, or so-called links on high cholesterol. So focusing on reducing the fat level in the blood, what their study done is that to reducing the fat level in the blood, reduce the LDL, bad cholesterol, and also inhibit and synthesizes. So all study have been done, tested on animal. So the first one is a study by the Nantong University in 2012 that Ganoderma can actually help to reduce the blood fat level of hyperlipidemia, fatty liver, and also inhibit oxidant stress. So they also show the effect on able to prevent and treat the hyperlipidemic fatty liver. So this was also based on the animal testing. They found that Ganoderma lucidum polysaccharide is effective on oxidative stress on the hyperlipidemic fatty liver in rats. And the second is the study by the Nestle Research Center in 2004. So they use Ganoderma to actually trying to see Ganoderma to actually reduce the LDL cholesterol. So also based on animal testing, what they found is that the Ganoderma lucidum have potential to reduce LDL cholesterol in the vivo test through various mechanisms in hamster and guinea pig. And the third study is by a Japanese researcher, and back in 1989. So they use Ganoderma to inhibit the formation and synthesis of a cholesterol in a hepatic cell, so which means the liver cell, which has the effect. They found that which has the effect of stopping the production of cholesterol from the liver. So they have done it on animal testing. So they show that gadolinic acid B and C inhibit the formation and synthesis of cholesterol in the liver cell in rats. Yeah. So next, the fourth study is by the Swiss team. Okay, back in 2004, 2005, they found that Ganoderma can actually reduce the total cholesterol by 20%, and the level of bad cholesterol by up to 27%. So based on the animal testing also, that Ganoderma tretinoin decreases the hyperlipidemic in blood viscosity. So viscosity is how thick the blood is. So in summary, the study found that Ganoderma has effect on the hyperlipidemia, can actually help in control of a cholesterol level by reducing the fatty liver, the hyperlipidemic fatty liver, reducing the bad cholesterol, LDL, and inhibiting the formation and synthesis of cholesterol in the liver cell. Yeah. Next, we look at the dosage and vertical reaction. Yeah. So first we look at the dosage recommended. Okay, for YK Ganoderma dosage. First is the prevention and reduce the side effect of Western drug. Is 4 to 8 capsules of YK1, and for therapeutic effect, pre-illnesses level will be 12 capsules and above. Yeah, and the last one will be mega dose. So that will be 30 capsules of YK1 and above, and in terms of vertical reaction, some may experience a slight increase in cholesterol level temporarily. Yeah, not all will have reaction. So very much depends on individual body reaction when first taking the links. Yeah. Next. Okay, next is we look at other supplement product from CHOL. We have first one, we have YK pollen. YK pollen is very good because it helps to regulate, because of nutrition, the nutrients that we have inside this pollen, that it can actually help to regulate nutritional imbalance, help in weight loss, increase stamina, and remove fatigue. Yeah. Next is a CHOL fiber. So this will also help in reduce cholesterol and triglyceride. And next, the third one is a CHOL instant soya protein powder. So this powder is easily absorbed, okay, and they have the effect of a reduced excessive fat in the blood vessel and the liver. Fourth is the YKI plus. So this is YKI plus is very good for the eyes, and it has the power antioxidant and needed for organ with the blood capillary, because around our eye area there will be a lot of small tiny blood vessel, so blood capillary, which is also need, okay, all these supplement to help to reduce the kind of so-called disease. And the last one, fifth, is CEO cafe. So control CEO cafe, we know that they added the links, so we are able to actually control body weight and provide diuretic benefit. Yeah. Next, we look at the testimonial. Yeah. So this is the testimonial from Taiwan. It's about high triglyceride. Yeah. Okay. So this Mr. Chang Yi-Ming, age 34, back in 2010, from Taiwan, had a high. This is a case of testimonial case of high triglyceride that is more than 1,000 mg per dl. So the whole thing started is that in 2006, he actually started to take Lingzi for those general health maintenance, but he had, at that time, he had different, when he started off, he had different vertical reaction. Yeah, when he started with the Lingzi. So from time to time, he experienced different reaction. So the first one is that he has shoulder pain at night, and then followed by the next one is a stomach upset, and he got diarrhea eventually, and then also had vomiting. So in detail, okay, the first time reaction was a shoulder pain at night, and he pain until very so painful that he need to take MC, but he continue the so-called the Lingzi, and at that time he took the dosage that he had is 2 times Lingzi daily, and he continued for 1 week, although there is he still pain, and he still suffer the pain. But after 1 week, he noticed that no more pain. Yeah. So after he continued, but the second time reaction it came was he had stomach upset. So with the same dosage of Lingzi, he added a new supplement, lactoberry, and also tried with fiber. Yeah. And third and fourth reaction will be vomiting and diarrhea. And so at that time, he increased the dose. His dosage is 5 Lingzi capsule, and also increased. At that time, he also tried 20 Lingzi tablet, but that is a Taiwan version, and lactoberry. Okay, and with 1 Lingzi tablet, so-called the tablet form, the one is from Taiwan version, that actually suck in the mouth for every hour. So for third and fourth, he tried this type of dosage, and he continued to take Lingzi, but after that, his reaction no more reaction already. Everything gets settled down. So he continued Lingzi, but he did not take it regularly and seriously since then. So in 2010, he started to work. Okay, So all along he had been taking 灵芝, but not regularly. So in 2010, he started to work in a rotating day and night shift, the kind of work routine. So for every 2 weeks. So meaning that every 2 weeks he will change from day shift to a night shift, and alternately he will continue from there, and then night to day. So in fact, with this shift pattern, it affects his sleep quality and eating habit. So for the health screening, so he actually went yearly. He actually went for health screening, and most of the tests that were still within the normal range, except triglyceride is very high. Okay, most of the time. So in 2010, okay, his health screen reported the triglyceride is at a level of higher than 1000 mg per dl. And at that time, he started to increase his 灵芝 dosage. So 2011, 1 year later, he stopped working rotating shift. So his triglyceride went down, okay, together with the 灵芝 dosage, went down to 369 mg per dl. So 2012, this triglyceride actually dropped to 215 mg per dl, and 2013 it went up slightly above. It went up above, okay, it went up to 339, but he still continued the 灵芝 dosage, and with the so-called balanced diet, healthy diet, and he believed that his so-called triglyceride can actually stay within the normal range. So the key takeaway from this testimonial is that triglyceride can be affected by our daily sleep pattern and poor diet. So in addition to actually managing our sleep pattern and balancing diet, taking 灵芝 regularly with high dosage can actually help to lower triglyceride. So this is the so-called testimonial actually from the Ganoderma magazine, issue 69, yeah, page 14 to 15. I put the link with, yeah, this information from here. So next, so we have a few more testimonials. So all these testimonials are from Taiwan and are taken from, just now I mentioned about the Ganoderma magazine, issue 62. The first testimonial I have just presented. So we look at the second one. Second one is a male testimonial who had high triglyceride and diabetes. Okay, so after 3 months of taking the 灵芝 and CHOL product, his triglyceride and cholesterol and blood glucose level dropped back to normal range. So he consumed 6 YK 灵芝 and 6 bee pollen daily. He also taking jahol fiber before meal to actually reduce the absorption of fat and glucose. And in terms of reaction, he has no vertical reaction, but experienced good energy level. Yeah. So the third testimonial, okay, had not only high triglyceride and cholesterol, he also have a hepatitis C. So he's a hepatitis C patient where GOP and GPT is also high. So what he consumed 15 YK1 and 30 capsules of pollen daily for his hepatitis C, and also taking 4 capsules of YK1 and 10 capsules of pollen for his high cholesterol and diabetes. He had vertical reaction of aching neck and shoulder. So after consuming this 灵芝 for 1 year, his GOT, GPT dropped back to normal healthy level. As for the triglyceride level, it took him 2 years of consuming 灵芝 to see the triglyceride back to normal range. As you can see, 灵芝 not only help in lowering the cholesterol and triglyceride level, it also enhance the liver function. Yeah. Next, finally, we look at the conclusion. Yeah. So the conclusion is that it's never too late to actually make healthy lifestyle change, such as quitting smoking if you are a smoker, and eating healthy and balanced food, and have adequate enough sleep and get more exercise. Yeah. So the main way to protect yourself against high cholesterol, this is a main way to protect, yeah, and to reduce the complication that include heart attack and stroke. So medication only, as you can see just now from all this, medication only address the symptom and not the root cause. So in the long run, okay, we still need to actually have all these so-called balanced lifestyle change, yeah, together with 灵芝, and all this will actually help to lower the risk. So Shuangho has a series of safe and effective health products, Ganoderma, to assist you on this so-called recovery journey. Yep. So with that, I thanks everyone. Yeah, I end my presentation. Thank you.